Coming up on this week's news, the government watchdog intervenes over the marketing of plug-in solar kits, Ed Miliband gives the green light to cross-pavement EV charging, and safety chiefs issue an alert over a big brand energy storage system. Welcome to Electrical News Weekly in association with Anker, the world's #1 home solar battery storage, and the SolarBank 3 Pro, the 1200 watt bidirectional energy storage system with 4 MPPTs and 2.68 kilowatt hours capacity. Whether you're listening in the van, on site, or down at the wholesale counter, I'm Joe Robinson, and I've been through the best of the electrical industry news to save you the trouble. And this week's challenge word competition is supported by the good people at Brady. If you need a label, they've got a printer, and so much more. If you think you've spotted the 2 words that I've been challenged to slip into this week's show, comment with them below for the chance to win this exclusive cap branded with friends of the show, Quickwire and Chump Tools. And while you're there, click the links in the show notes to check out what our sponsors offer. The government's marketing watchdog has intervened over the promotion of plug-in solar kits. The Advertising Standards Authority has ordered industry leader EcoFlow to pull its ads stating that its products can be installed without a certified electrician. It says the publicity breaches its code on misleading advertising. A householder complained about the company's website as seen on the 20th of January. It described its Stream Ultra product as its hot pick for effortless DIY installation, no electrician required. The slogan was above images of solar panels and batteries. The complainant challenged the claim as they believed that to comply with the law, the products had to be installed by a qualified electrician. EcoFlow Innovation UK, trading as EcoFlow, says it has now withdrawn the ad and is reviewing similar claims that appeared elsewhere for the Stream range. The Advertising Standards Authority also noted a reply to one of the frequently asked questions on EcoFlow's website. Under the question, "Can I install the Stream series by myself?" text stated that it could be self-installed and maintained. It went on to say that, however, in the UK, local regulations require the EcoFlow Stream DIY cable to be wired into the distribution board, which must be done by a certified installer or electrician. The authority says that the information appeared in a list of questions near the bottom of a lengthy web page and was not linked to the main claim. It therefore considered that consumers could go through the entire process of buying a solar panel without being made aware of the need for professional installation. In any event, it considered it directly contradicted the main claim and was misleading for that reason. It says the ad must not appear again. Additionally, EcoFlow must ensure that future ads do not misleadingly state or imply that its products can be installed without using a certified installer if this is not the case. However, the censured advertisement looks set to become legal this summer when the government amends the rules to allow DIY solar for plug-in kit rated 800 watts or below. Energy Secretary Ed Miliband gave the green light to the technology last month. He's also announced this week that he's giving the green light to another controversial bit of kit, cross-pavement EV charging. Miliband says the government will give householders permitted development rights to install cross-pavement charging gullies and plug-in points. Currently, you need permission from your local authority to cut into the pavement, but councils, being as exciting as Magnolia, have been hesitant to allow it because of concerns over electrocution. It stems from the possibility of simultaneous contact between the body of an electric vehicle and another vehicle, or street furniture such as a metal lamppost or telecoms cabinet, leading to someone dancing like Rasputin on a night out. Unless the 2 items are connected to the same distribution systems, there is a danger, in a fault, of a high voltage difference between them. However, last month, the first technical guidance on the touch potential of EV chargers was unveiled by the Highway Electrical Association. The document stresses that there's no single solution. Instead, electricians are urged to do a risk assessment and then implement the right mix of measures for that location. These measures should include aiming to put all accessible conductive parts on a common earthing system so that no voltage difference exists. This requires accurate information and coordination with the DNO. Installers also need to consider long-term maintenance to prevent divergence of earth systems in the future. It's also vital to ensure that any potentially different earthing systems are beyond arm's reach to prevent simultaneous contact. The guidance here is that the gap is at least 2.5 metres. They should consider insulation and non-conductive materials, coatings or enclosures to prevent contact with live metal parts. Finally, protective devices such as open pen conductor detection devices or OPDDs can detect fault conditions and disconnect the supply automatically. I've put a link to the full guidance document in the show notes. Still on safety, the government has issued an alert over Sigenergy's combined energy storage system. Specifically, the Office for Product Safety and Standards says that the AC plug for the Sigenstore's energy controller presents a low risk of burns. The popular Sigenstore combines an inverter, EV charger and battery pack in one unit. The alert concerns the 8 kilowatt, 10 kilowatt and 12 kilowatt connectors for single phase units. The agency says that in rare cases, the Quick Connect AC plug may present a risk of overheating overheating and burns in instances where it has not been installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. Sigenergy has now initiated a modification program to warn customers of the risk. It's also arranging for on-site inspection and repair of the affected products. If you've installed and commissioned a Sigenstore energy controller before February 2026, you should get in touch with the company's service department. I'll put the contact details and the product numbers of the affected models in the show notes. Now, some exciting news from friend of the channel Greencable. If you're not familiar with the scheme, it's a mobile scrapyard that comes to you. The company gives you a green wheelie bin. There's no contract or service charge. You simply put in your offcuts of twin and earth and other non-ferrous metal. They collect it, they give you money. And that's it. Following multiple geographic expansions across England and Wales over the past 12 months, plus a team and fleet expansion earlier this year, Greencable is now opening new accounts across all of Wales and southern England, including Hampshire, Kent, Surrey and Sussex. For those of you based in these regions and who've already signed up to their service, you'll soon be receiving contact from the Greencable team advising when they'll be in your area carrying out their first visits. If you're not signed up already, this is your opportunity to do good for the planet and earn more extra cash. If you work on large jobs, remember they'll collect from site and issue legally compliant documentation to prove responsible disposal of waste materials. The link, as ever, is in the show notes. In promo news, Remi has unveiled a competition in which you can get 20 tool trays for your local electrical college. The company is giving one UK training centre a full set of trays to upgrade its setup. If you're in the trade or training for it, this is your chance to put your college forward. To enter, simply follow Remi on Instagram using the handle @RemiTools, click like on the post announcing the promo and tag 2 of your electrical mates. Then use the link in our bio to enter. You'll also get a bonus entry if you share the post to your story and tag @RemiTools. The winner gets to nominate their college. Entries close soon, so you better move sharpish. Now, lamp lovers, have I got a treat for you. It's your favourite bit of the show, the Paul Russell's Lamp of the Week. Now take a look at this baby. The sharp-eyed will see that it's a G9 pin base. This is a format loved by manufacturers of decorative lights. It's LED, of course. In fact, it has 14 separate LEDs on it. But what's unusual about this is it's 6,500 Kelvin. That's chillier than a snowman's X. Its light output of 200 lumens is equivalent to a 20 watt, but it draws a mere 2.2 watts of power. Average life is 25,000 hours. Now it's that great moment where we get to celebrate the sterling work being done by the next generation. Our Learner of the Week slot is brought to you by XS Training with their online electrical courses for beginners and experienced sparks, covering inspection and testing, solar, battery storage, EV charging, and their specialism NVQs and AM2 online prep. This week's eFIXX Learner of the Week goes to Lawrence Khan from Hull College. Lawrence has recently joined the industry and has already completed his Level 2 practical assessment, a solid milestone and a great start to his journey. But what really stood out wasn't just the achievement, it was his attitude. In his post, Lawrence made a point of giving credit to Paul Adams for the support he received throughout his Level 2. That kind of recognition and respect for those helping you along the way is something we really value at eFIXX. We've got a huge amount of respect for the work coming out of Hull College, and Lawrence is a brilliant example of the standard they're producing. On top of that, he's been getting stuck into a number of the free eFIXX training packages, building not just his core knowledge, but also developing an awareness of future and emerging technologies in the industry. A strong start, a great mindset, and definitely one to watch. Lawrence, congratulations, you are the eFIXX Learner of the Week in association with XS Training. If you're looking to break into the industry, we can help. eFIXX has set up a dedicated LinkedIn group for people training in electrical installation. It's aimed at apprentices, full-time learners and adults training in the evening. Just log on to LinkedIn and search for UK electrician apprenticeships and career support. I'll also put a link in the show notes. If you're an employer looking to offer work experience or an electrical apprenticeship, we can help too. Just reach out to the team at eFIXX and we'll do our best to connect you with motivated learners in your area. And now, to the lighter side of the electrical news. Yes, it's time for a tea break with Quickwire and its range of incredibly rapid electrical connectors. It's been revealed that the body double for Jack Nicholson in The Shining was, in fact, a British electrician. The hit movie was filmed at Elstree Studios in 1979 when Nicholson took a couple of days off during shooting to attend the Wimbledon Tennis Championships. Director Stanley Kubrick was determined to carry on. He decided that the spark on the set, Bobby Tanswell, was a close enough match for the American star. So Kubrick used Tanswell as a stand-in for scenes where Nicholson's face wasn't required. For a young London spark used to connecting cables and sockets, acting in a blockbuster film was a bit of a career change. And, as fellow screen star Michael Caine would say, not a lot of people know that. That's the lighter side of the news in our tea break with Quickwire and their range of incredibly rapid electrical connectors. Click the link in the description to check them out for yourself. Now it's over to the John Motson of the electrical industry. It's Joe 2.0 with all the latest news from our Fantasy Football League.
Game week 35 is complete, and what an interesting one it was, both in the Premier League and the eFIXX Fantasy League. At the top, Man City dropped points, meaning Arsenal are now 5 points clear, although City still have that game in hand. At the other end, Spurs shocked everyone by beating Aston Villa, which has dropped West Ham into the relegation zone. Plenty still to play for in the final weeks. As for fantasy, there were some huge scores this week. Big names delivered, but as always, a few quieter differentials made all the difference. Let's see who made it count. The Marshall Toughlex team of the week goes to Anker Solix, managed by Adam Atkinson. Adam didn't just have a good week, he had one of the best in the world. 106 points, which puts him around 400th out of 13 million managers. That is serious going. The key was backing Arsenal, captaining Gyökeres, who delivered 2 goals and an assist, alongside Saka, who was right in the mix as well. Adding returns from Senesi and Szoboszlai, and it all came together perfectly. That's about as close to a flawless game week as you'll see. Outstanding stuff, Adam. Next up, the Fusebox Flyer of the week goes to Upside Down FC, managed by Jamie P. Jamie had a huge week as well, putting his bench boost to perfect use. A lot of the damage came from the defence, with Mukiele and Hill both hitting double figures, adding strong returns from Saka and Szoboszlai, plus points coming in from the bench, and it all added up to a brilliant 96 point haul. That's pushed Jamie all the way up to 22nd in the eFIXX League table. Serious momentum at just the right moment. Now for the EV Blocks Defence of the week, which goes to Vert's Nightmare, managed by George Lee. George's defence was outstanding this week, bringing in 38 points. Picks like Senesi and Hill both delivered double-digit returns with bonus points, while Kelleher and Gabriel had a clean sheet. That's a defence doing exactly what you want, steady, reliable and quietly racking up serious points. Finally, it's time for the TIS Transfer of the week. After Arsenal's performance this weekend, it's hard to see them slipping up now, especially with the fixtures they've got coming. Saka and Gyökeres are both hitting form at exactly the right time, and that's the kind of thing that wins titles and fantasy leagues. West Ham won't be easy, but with Burnley up next, there's real potential for big returns. If you're looking for a late season push, those are the 2 players to have in your team. That's the highlights from game week 35 in the eFIXX Fantasy League. Huge thanks to our brand partners for backing the fun every week, and don't forget to enter the draw for the eFIXX Tool of the Week. The link's in the description. Until next time, may your captains actually play, may your benches be stacked, and may Leeds continue to disappoint Rick.
Thanks for that update, Joe. Speaking of football, a reminder that Schneider has unveiled the 2026 version of its hugely popular Score to Win promotion. In this exciting new game, installers must beat the keeper from the penalty spot as many times as they can to win points. And what do points mean? Prizes, of course. This year there are Premier League hospitality tickets up for grabs, as well as signed football shirts. Simply spend a minimum of £250 on Schneider Electric products in any one transaction at any participating wholesaler. You'll then be given the opportunity to play a virtual game of skill involving kicking a football into a goal. There'll even be a public leaderboard so you can see how your mates are doing. I've put a link to the terms and conditions in the show notes. Now, just before we get to your favourite bit of the show where I reveal last week's challenge words and winners, we want to thank our premium partners. We couldn't make the news without you. First up, Ledvance. Your vision, their lights, celebrating 10 years and 100 years of experience. One of our favourite new innovations here at eFIXX, especially now it's in sexy new packaging. For rock-solid fixings in flimsier materials, don't just fix it when you can chump fix it. And the best thing to come out of Yorkshire since stainless steel, the home of EV Ultra and other groundbreaking and quality products, it's Doncaster Cables. Click the links in the show notes to find out more about these great brands. If you think you know the words I've smuggled into this week's show, pop your guess into the comments. We'll take all the correct guesses and select one at random to be the winner of an eFIXX goodie bag prize. Answers submitted after midnight on the Wednesday after release will not be entered into the draw. Now let's reveal the winners of last week's challenge word competition, as sponsored by Brady. Remember, if you need a label, they've got a printer and so much more. Click the link in the description to view their incredible range. Last week's words were contretemps and triceratops. And the first person to be plucked from our electronic hat, it's been a while, but he's back with a bang. Serial winner and friend of the show, it's Mark Just Mark. Or, as Jen likes to call him, what on earth am I supposed to send? He's cleaned us out. Well done, Mark. Make sure you click the Get Involved link in the show notes to claim your prize. And now it's time for this week's weather from Joe Hammond and Foxy SS.
Last week brought some much needed sunshine and warmth across many parts of the UK, with temperatures reaching 25 degrees in many places, leading not only to an influx of very pale sungoers forgetting to cream up, but an export ecstasy for many solar panel owners. And we received these cracking install photos as well from the island of Jersey, installed by GD Solar, a really good looking outdoor install and some bespoke panelling as well. Thanks a lot for sending these in. So is the fine weather set to continue? Well, sadly not, as the UK returns to more average temperatures for this time of year. For many, it'll be dry with a mix of clouds and sunny spells. Northern areas will still see showery outbreaks of rain pushing south before things brighten up as cold air starts to move in. There is a bit of a shift as we move into the rest of the week, so perhaps a good time to store what energy you can whilst it's still cheap. From Wednesday through to Friday, northerly winds take over, so it's turning cooler right across the UK. There will still be some showers around at times, but they're expected to be lighter and fewer than what we've just seen over the weekend. So it's not a washout, but it's definitely not last week either. We may still see some sunny spells breaking through, which may be just enough to keep things ticking over, but no way near that peak solar performance that we've just had. Heading into the weekend is more of the same with clouds and the odd downpour, but if you're lucky, you may see a bit of sunshine breaking through. So overall, cooler, a bit mixed and slightly less exciting if you're watching your generation numbers like a hawk. That's your weather.
Thanks for that update, Joe 3PO. Thanks for listening to this episode of Electrical News Weekly in association with Anker Solix, the world's #1 plug-and-play solar battery storage brand. Make sure you subscribe to receive the next update. Thanks for listening, and until next time, have a great week. Stay safe out there, and remember, there's no such thing as a torque-calibrated arm.